Inspiration, creativity, culture, ingenuity. Some of the best media students at the University of Cincinnati coming together to capture history with their creativity. My name is Steven. I'm a student athletic photographer for the University of Cincinnati's athletic department. This is my internship, the student creatives that make sports beautiful.
This is going on my third year at UC Athletics, and it is just hard to believe the amount of things we've accomplished. This isn't about me. This is about the stories we've been able to create and the relationships we've been able to build. It's not just taking photos, it's capturing moments and telling the stories of the people who are in it. Now let me introduce you to some people who have drove this department light years beyond where anyone could have imagined.
So my name is Tyler Hopton. Most people here know me as T-Hop. I'm a creative video intern. I'm one of 3 lead interns here. I guess it kind of started middle school timing. I always just ran to my backyard with my friends making like stupid waterfall videos, iMovie, classic, whatever. And then in high school, I really found a passion my junior year. I joined this Comet TV media. Callum Norrie recommended me joining, and we really just created high school football videos every single Friday, alternating weeks of who makes what hype video. And that's where my passion really started there. And that was kind of the start of everything.
Hi, my name's Lydia Scambry, and I'm a junior photographer at the University of Cincinnati. I was in high school. I started this internship when I was a freshman in college, and so when I was a senior in high school, I got an email working in the communications department for the athletics, and I got excited, so I applied for it. I got the internship, and when I got here, I was like, hey, I actually take photos. So then I got connected with Eichel, and then I got into the Bearcats digital program.
Hi, my name is Eichel Davis. I'm the Assistant Athletic Director of Creative Video at the University of Cincinnati Athletic Department. When I first got here, the plan wasn't even regarding interns at all. It wasn't even in the general sense of what my job title was supposed to be or was going to be. I realized that it was impossible without them. Things have changed. It used to be, we used to pick up if you could hold the camera steady, you would be in the internship, and things have definitely changed to where the wait list for this thing is almost 50 people deep, and it grows every day, which is a testament to not anything that I've done, but just kind of what we've done as a program and the kids that we have. It's no secret that we have a 100% Power 5 job rate. We're going to be the only internship program in the country that has that, so why wouldn't you want to work for the best with the best?
As Eichel said, this internship really has the makings to be the best in the nation. Many of the students that we have here have won awards and are only getting better. But it's not about the accolades or the recognition. It's really about creating the moments for the athletes and the memories for yourself.
A big time moment that I could remember that I got to be a part of was filming the American Athletic Championship game. That was a super cool experience because we ended up winning, and then we went on a CFP run. And all the fans rushed to the field, which I got a really cool shot of and be a part of as like a fan too. That moment really clicked with me that I really want to do this and follow a career afterwards.
Probably one of my best memories here was actually just recently the men's basketball versus TCU game. They stormed the court, and I knew it was going to come, and so I went up into the catwalk, and I was able to get a photo of everybody coming down in, and they lifted up the Bearcat and everything. So it was one of those surreal moments where I really was able to soak in the moment before, and as the time was going down, I was like, okay, you got to be ready for this, and yeah.
Obviously, it's so great to be there for the next big moment in sports, to be there for history. We'd love to have a ton of fun, but this is an internship. This is setting us up for the future.
So my experience has been phenomenal, life-changing, really. What Eichel has done for me and everyone else, including here at the University of Cincinnati, this internship allowed me to take my passion and turn it into something really cool that I enjoy doing on a day-to-day process. And I feel like Now, out of all my experiences, I can take what I've learned and actually turn it into a career, which I feel like is super cool.
This internship has been absolutely amazing, and it definitely has helped me connect and work with other people a lot and become a better photographer, because the people here are insanely good photographers and I wouldn't be here without them. But then also being in high pressured situations and being able to turn photos in literally an hour after the game, and being able to label and doing all that stuff will definitely help prepare me for the future.
Most Power 5 schools, your interns are that. They're interns. Here, our interns are pseudo full-timers. I think we have the best interns in the country, and I don't think anywhere else can even come close to us. The interns we have now are fantastic, but the runway was shorter, where now you have interns that are freshmen, sophomores. The runway is so long that being able to put them in this system for 4 years, I mean, that is incredible to see where that can go. One of our interns asked me the other day, what's Creative U? What do you think Creative U is? What school? And I said, well, right now I'd name some random school. But I was like, but I think in 5 years it'll be undeniable. It'll be Cincinnati. There will be 30 creatives from Cincinnati in about 4 years, and we'll be unstoppable. I won't be here, but it won't matter. We will be unstoppable in terms of the fact that we created a place where 30 creatives not only excel in athletics, but excel at the Power 5 level, which is legitimately unheard of right now.
When it comes down to it, Cincinnati is setting up their student interns for success in sports. Many who have left the internship and gone into sports have all gotten jobs at Power 5 schools. 3 are even creative directors. The responsibilities we have here are more like full-timers than we are interns. There's nobody like us. There's nobody like Cincinnati.
We were told we had to close. We couldn't be open.
We did not know what to do. We were required to shut down.
Customers couldn't come in the store. We didn't want to just stop what we were doing.
They were devastated.
It wasn't like it was before, but we did have a pulse. It was
Frustrating, overwhelming.
We had to figure out a way to reach people, and we knew that was going to be key to us staying alive.
Lots of sleepless nights. Lots of sleepless nights.
Getting the store together, the community.
Help getting it launched.
No, hang on. What I said before was perfect. I hope you can use that.
From the, okay, do you want to start?
Yes.
So my name is Angela Gammon, and I am the co-owner of Third Rock Music Center here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I own it with my husband, Greg, and this is our story. So what was it like to start a business back in 2015? Challenging, for sure. In June of 2015, my husband was losing his job.
We all got word that they were going to be closing the store that I worked at, and that I would be unemployed and I would have to find a new job.
And at that time we had 3 kids. They were heading off to college and we weren't sure what to do.
It was not easy hearing that. It was a little scary moment. We had a lot of reflecting to do if I was going to be staying in the industry I was in or if it was time to move on after 26 years. Tough thing to do when you have thousands of customers.
Neither Greg nor I have a business background or degree. Greg had the experience of working in retail, so we had that going for us.
I understood the business, I understood the relationships between the vendors and the customers, stocking levels, I understood the money aspect of it as far as how much inventory you needed to have to maintain a certain level of sales, which is what I was accustomed to doing for 20 years. We took a leap of faith. We said, this is the time. It was just a matter of, all right, let's see if we can start our own business.
And in the beginning, we just kind of started with a small office place, like studio, and we didn't even have inventory at that time. We just had accessories.
We had some lesson studios. We retained all of the teachers that we had at the old company. We retained all of the students, and we just started from there.
It was super scary. Hey, fun fact, I am not a musician. So, you know, this is a whole new ball game for me.
So I sat down with my wife, we got a game plan together, and we decided, let's try this, let's go on our own, let's see what we can do. It was either go into some other industry, go work for a competitor after 25 years, or maybe this was the right time to start our own business. And we started there. We had just a table, a laptop, and a phone, and that's all we had.
So July 1st, we started a business, Third Rock Music Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. So one of the biggest challenges, I mean, honestly, was trying to get a loan.
And at that time we knew, well, we can't afford a building, so we're gonna have to start talking to banks.
We went to 7 different banks and we got turned down 7 times. You know, I many times wanted to give up because I thought, this is a sign, this isn't supposed to be. We need to pivot, we need to adjust, we need to try something else. But Greg was very determined, and he's the one that said, we got to keep going.
We go back to the banks. Finally, we actually had 2 banks that wanted to step up, give us the mortgage loan that we needed for the building, and give us the loan that we needed to get the machine rolling, so to speak, so we can start selling things. I would come in at 3 a.m. in the morning, work construction downstairs, do what I could. 11 a.m., go upstairs, and we would be selling instruments and on the phones with customers, and we would close at 8 o'clock after lessons were done. We would come back downstairs and continue working. 80 hours a week, non-stop. We had everything that needed to be done. The vision was there. We just saw a big empty space with restrooms. That's all we needed to help construct the place that we have. Until October, I believe, of 2016, we were finally able to open the new store as you see it, and things went great. Our sales were good. Customers were coming in, we were new, we were fresh, and it was a great start. We had a good customer base, we had a fine location.
Fast forward to March of 2020, it was COVID-19 and the pandemic, and we did not know what to do.
And this shit hit the fan.
The coronavirus pandemic has dealt a huge blow to the music industry.
If you've tried to go to the record store lately, you may have discovered it isn't there.
This has had an impact like nothing we've seen in our lifetime in the history of the music industry.
This decline is steeper than we expected. But you know what? In some ways it means we'll get to the bottom faster. You know, and after that there's growth. And most companies don't do well. It's usually the interloper, the new company that does better.
Fortunately, because the way the state mandated everything in Ohio, any business that was selling audio-visual, computer interfaces, things like that was allowed to stay open. That was a very small part of what we did, but we did do some of that.
And during that time, you know, Greg and I just thought, well, we're just going to keep going to work and we're going to improve. So we started painting, we cleaned, we rearranged, we modified our store.
But still, for 8-10 weeks, we were shut down totally. Nobody was coming in the store, and we decided, well, let's pivot. Let's change some things we'd thinking about changing. Let's redesign the back half of the store. Let's not do so much drums anymore because we're more of a guitar store, and having all their percussion equipment around was just in a way. So we took lots of pictures and put stuff on eBay, and we're able to clear out a lot of inventory and then focus on what we were able to do.
Because we thought, you know, when we come back after this, we're going to come back stronger and better. And so that's what we did.
Focusing finally on our website, we were able to spend a lot of time arranging online in-store pickups where people would drive up, we would go out to the car and put stuff in the trunk.
So just however we could service our customers, that's what we did. So back in May of 2020, we were able to open again.
So Third Rock 2.0, coming out of a pandemic, the state said you can reopen, but here are some rules. A lot of stores were staying closed, restaurants weren't allowed to reopen, but we could with limited capacity.
You know, there's no playbook. There was nothing to go by, so...
What happened after we reopened? Business boomed. One of the things that COVID did was force people to stay at home. They couldn't go out, so a lot of people picked up guitar. A lot of people that used to play guitar picked it back up again. And they needed instruments, they needed strings, they needed all the associated fun products that go along with it, and people started doing online lessons. It really energized what we were doing. Business probably went up 25% from the previous year, and we just went with it.
Our store, Third Rock Music, is a community store. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our community. We just thought, you know, we have to give back. Some way, somehow, we've got to give back to our community. So we came up with Music with a Mission. It's an annual event to raise money and awareness for a local nonprofit. And we've done it 6 years in a row. It's just part of who we are. And
naturally, we had to figure out a way to give back to that same community.
It was so exciting. You know, I've got a sign in the store and it says, when you take care of your customers take care of you. And that's kind of our model, how we try to live by. So anyhow, starting a business, definitely a challenge. Definitely not for the faint of heart. You definitely have to just keep pushing through. It's a lot of hard work in the beginning, but it can happen.
For me, the most important thing that stands out has been the support of our team, vendors, and community. I am truly grateful for the loyal people they are and for their support and encouragement. Without them, none of this would have been possible. My name is Greg Gammon. I am the co-owner of Third Rock Music Center, and this is our story.
Ever since the smashing success of Pokemon during the late 1990s, it was only a matter of time when the official Pokemon trading card game would be released worldwide. And after nearly 2 whole decades of both the Pokemon video games and the trading card game coexisting, the card game has gotten a bit of a resurgence, possibly due to the many YouTube channels showing off their more valuable cards and videos, and the fact that Pokemon is always incredibly popular. But a good amount of people still do not understand how to play the card game that they're collecting for. And though Pokemon themselves have released a how to play video, it is outdated for the kinds of cards we have nowadays. Luckily, I put together a comprehensive beginner's guide on how to play the Pokemon trading card game, or Pokemon TCG for short, using the most recent card sets as a way to help newer players get into the game. So let us enter the world of Pokemon, but first we need a little bit of context. Pokemon is a franchise where you collect, trade, and battle creatures called, of course, Pokemon. The original Pokemon games, Red and Blue, were released in the United States on September 28, 1998 for Nintendo's Game Boy, with the physical trading card game being released shortly after in December of that same year. Fast forward 2 decades later, and the latest game in the series, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, was released on November 18, 2022, with its first card game expansion released around March 31st of 2023. And with every new generation comes a new gimmick that spices up the way battles work, with this one bringing what's called terrestrialized Pokemon, a way of giving different types to existing Pokemon or giving the same type a boost of power. However, this does not mean anything if you do not know how to read a Pokemon card, the rules needed to play Pokemon, and how the average match works. So let's get into it. There are 4 types of cards the trainers need to be aware of: the Pokemon card, the trainer card, the stadium card, and the energy card. A standard Pokemon card shows off an illustration of any known Pokemon, as well as its moves and additional information that gives more context to the monster at play. From left to right, you can see the evolving stage, the name of the Pokemon, the typing of the Pokemon alongside how many hit points it has, the moves it has, type weaknesses and resistances, the retreat cost, and the regulation mark. Now's a good time to talk about Pokemon Vs and EXs. Pokemon Vs are naturally stronger Pokemon that have a lot more hit points, but are more likely to have higher energy costs. EX Pokemon are very similar to Vs, but sometimes they need to evolve first. Next are trainer cards. There are 4 types of trainer cards that you need to look out for: item trainers, supporter trainers, tool trainers, and technical machines. Regardless of what they are, you must discard them after you are done using them. Item cards can be used to enhance your deck or hurt your opponent's deck. They can be used so long as you still have your turn. Supporter trainers are a more powerful version of item trainers, but you can only use them once per turn, meaning that if you use it, you cannot use any more supporters until the end of your turn. Supporter trainers also have artwork from Pokemon characters across the series. Tool cards are also similar to items, but are placed on your Pokemon instead of discarding it. They usually have effects that occur when your Pokemon is being attacked, and you can only discard them if you discard your Pokemon. Finally, you have technical machines. Technical machine cards are very strange cards that can give your Pokemon a new attack to use. You use it like a regular tool trainer card, but it must be discarded at the end of your turn, regardless of whether you have decided to use the move or not. Up next, we have stadium cards. Stadium cards are used to give you and your opponent some extra bonuses or special conditions. You can only discard them if you or your opponent put down another stadium card. Finally, we have energy cards. Energy cards are required for any move that your Pokemon can do and can only be equipped once per turn. They have an energy card for each type that the TCG has, and some even come with certain rules that can help you out. Now that you know what makes up a card, here's the standard deck. It has 60 total cards, and it cannot be any more or any less. Though you can use any Pokemon you want in your deck, you must have a basic Pokemon in order for you to play. You can also only have up to 4 copies of the same card, and each card must have a regulation mark, which is located at the bottom left side. And finally, if any of your cards have a regulation D mark, that means it is banned for tournament play. However, please disregard that rule if you are doing it for fun. Here is where you will be battling. It's called the playmat. At the bottom of the playmat, we got something called the bench. The bench is a place where you can store your Pokemon during a match, and they cannot attack unless they have an ability. In front of the bench is called the active spot. The active spot is where you can attack with your Pokemon or put energy cards on top of them. You can even retreat if you have enough energy for it. To the left is where you put your prize cards. Prize cards are your primary condition to win. On the top right, you have your deck, and then on the bottom right, you have your discard pile. The deck area is where you're supposed to draw your cards from, but the discard pile, however, is only used after you used a trainer card or if you had your Pokemon knocked out. You play your trainer cards on the right, and you place stadium cards on your left. I said earlier that prize cards are your primary condition to win. However, that's not the only way you can win. You can also win if your opponent does not have any remaining Pokemon on the bench during their next turn, your opponent's deck area is empty, or if your opponent decided to concede. Now let's hop into a real match. But before the game starts, you and your opponent must decide the turn order. And the way that can happen is to flip a coin to see who goes first. And the winner of the coin flip can decide if they want to go first or second in the turn order. After that decision has been made, draw 7 cards. Both you and your opponent must have a basic Pokemon in order for you to play. If either of you do not have a basic Pokemon in your hand, you must show your hand and then reshuffle them back into your deck. This is what's called a mulligan. And if a mulligan happens, the other person has the opportunity to take another card. After both you and your opponent have a basic Pokemon into your active spot, set aside 6 cards from the top of your deck to the left side. These will be your prize cards. Prize cards can be collected after you knock down one of your opponent's Pokemon. Regardless, here's the turn order. At the first stage, you draw a card. You can put up to 5 basic Pokemon onto your bench, attach 1 energy to one of your Pokemon, which is only once per turn, retract your active Pokemon, also once per turn, evolve any of your Pokemon, but only after you place them down, play the trainer cards, and attack with your active Pokemon. If you cannot attack, tell your opponent that your turn is over. And I end my turn. A quick thing to know about turn order is that the player who goes first cannot attack or play a supporter card on their first turn, and neither player can evolve a Pokemon on their first turn. In the beginning of the match, Trainer B flips a coin to see who goes first. They have guessed correctly, and they have decided to go first. After a few rounds of preparation, Trainer B evolves their Lechonk into an Oinkologne, and doing the move Confounding Cologne, dealing 30 damage and leaving the opponent's Drowsy confused. Trainer A evolves their Drowsy into a Hypno, however they are still confused. Trainer A tries to attack Oinkologne, but fails to do so because they failed the coin flip, dealing 10 damage towards themselves. Trainer B uses High Impact Kick, leaving Hypno knocked out and giving Trainer B a prize card. Trainer B could have gotten 60 damage towards themselves, but they got lucky with the coin flip. Trainer A swaps in Indeedee, and Trainer B swaps in Macias. During their next turn, Trainer B uses Darkness Fang, dealing 20 damage to Indeedee. Trainer A uses a supporter card named Shauna, allowing Trainer A to shuffle their hand back into their deck and then drawing 5 cards. Trainer B does Darkness Fang. However, Trainer A uses Heart Sign, instantly knocking out Macias. Trainer A takes a prize card. Trainer B puts Brute Bonnet in the active spot. Trainer A uses Heart Sign again, dealing 80 damage. Trainer B then uses their supporter card named Cook, healing 70 damage from themselves. Trainer A uses Heart Sign. Trainer B uses Rampaging Hammer, instantly knocking out Indeedee and giving them another prize card. However, due to this move's effect, Brute Bonnet cannot attack during their next turn. Trainer A swaps into Lunatone. Trainer B ends their turn early. Trainer A evolves their Mischievous into Miss Macias. Trainer A also uses Moon Kinesis, dealing 30 damage for every energy Lunatone has. This knocks out Brute Bonnet and gives Trainer A another prize card. Trainer B swaps into Oinkalon. Trainer A does Moon Kinesis. Trainer B uses their supporter card, Professor Turo's Scenario, allowing Trainer B to put Lechonk and Oinkalon back into their hand. However, they must discard their energies. Trainer B swaps into Lugia V. Trainer A uses Moon Kinesis. Trainer B uses the supporter card, Copycat, allowing Trainer B to shuffle their hand back into their deck and then drawing the same amount of cards as their opponent, which is 4. Trainer A does Moon Kinesis, and knocking out Lugia V. Since Lugia V is a V Pokemon, Trainer A gets to take 2 more prize cards instead of 1. Trainer B swaps into Bouffalon. Trainer A does Moon Kinesis. Trainer B ends their turn early. Trainer A uses Moon Kinesis, knocking out Bouffalon, and giving Trainer A another prize card. Trainer B swaps into Roaring Moon EX, and uses the move Calamity Storm, instantly knocking out Lunatone, and giving Trainer B another prize card. Trainer A swaps into Miss Macias, and uses the Pokemon item Energy Recycler, allowing Trainer A to shuffle back 5 energy cards into their hand. Trainer A uses Psychic Sphere, dealing 60 damage towards Roaring Moon EX. Trainer B evolves their Lechonk into an Oinkalon again. Trainer B uses Calamity Storm, instantly knocking out Miss Macias and giving Trainer B another prize card. Trainer A sends in Double V. Trainer B uses Calamity Storm again. However, since Double V's ability, Soft Wool, gives Double V the ability to take 30 less damage, it does 70 damage instead. Trainer A uses the Fresh Water set, healing 20 damage for every Pokemon. Trainer B evolves their Charmander into a Charmeleon and uses Calamity Storm. Trainer A uses Revenge Blast, a move that does 120 damage. However, it does 30 more damage for every prize card that Trainer B has taken, dealing 200 damage instead, and knocking out Roaring Moon EX. Trainer A takes their final prize card and is declared the winner. Good game. If you are now interested in wanting to play Pokemon, you might be a little bit stumped as to where you can buy card packs. Luckily, you can find lots of them on sale in big chain stores, and online at www.pokemoncenter.com. A standard card pack is around $5, but you can find more bundles and even some starter decks for more money. You can also play the game online with Pokemon Trading Card Game Live, a free-to-download version that is faithfully adapted from the physical card game. You can even redeem code cards. There are plenty of old and new cards that are still in circulation, and we have only scratched the surface. But I hope that I showed you how fun it can be to learn the Pokemon trading card game. Thank you for watching.
Frijolada is the smallest cousin of bandeja paisa, a very characteristic dish of Colombian cuisine. Hola, hello, my name is Lucia, and today I am going to cook frijolada. So the ingredients that we have here are red beans, tomato, plantain, cilantro, garlic, cumin, onion, and lime. For the broth, you can use the roots of the onions, these parts that you would usually cut. The peel, you can also use it. I'm also going to use this part of the tomato. Just 1 lemon peel and a few drops of lemon for the broth and garlic peel. I am going to peel my tomatoes because those tomato peels are also great for a vegetable broth. If you have like the stems, like cabbage stems, you can also use that. And I'm also going to use the cilantro stems. Add the ingredients, all the peels, to the pot. And then I'll also add my bay leaves, laurel, that's how we call it. Here I am adding the water. We will also add some salt, just a pinch. Now I'm adding a few drops of lemon for flavor. Now I've taken this to the stove on high heat, and when it boils, we will lower it to a medium so it will absorb all of those flavors that then we'll add into our beans. After 10 minutes, you've got your own homemade vegetable broth. Our vegetable broth is ready. We are going to add the beans. The more you wash them, the easier they are to digest. And I'm adding just a little bit more water. So what we want is to cover the beans just enough because this is going to evaporate. 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. It helps to soften the beans and to accelerate a little bit the boiling process, just to make it a little faster. We are also going to add one of our green plantains. We will have plantain here in two ways. We will have it in the beans too, and we would also have it as a patacon. Patacon is a different preparation of the green plantain. I will show you in a moment. For this one, we're just going to dice it to make like little cubes. So here I am adding the green plantain. We are lowering the heat to a medium, and I'm going to add the cumin. Another couple pinches of salt, and now we're going to give it a mix. Something that I love about this recipe is colors, and this is going to take us about 45 plus minutes. Our beans are already cooking, they're looking pretty good and smelling pretty good too. And now we're going to start with the hogao. There is no translation for that. If you're not Colombian, you'd probably be like, what? What's that? This is basically just onion, tomato, garlic, cilantro. I've got here my rallador, grinder? I think it's grinder. So we're going to grind the tomato. So now that we've have the tomato ready, we're going to do the onion. We're using like half this onion. Ya quiero descansar. So there we go. We are going to start mincing the garlic. Cilantro. You don't want to add too much, like you don't want it to turn all green, but this will definitely give personality. Here we are with our frying pan. I'm just going to add a little bit of oil. We're just gonna add onion. And we're going to let this get a little transparent, even golden. Give it a good move, darle una buena movida. Adding the tomato. See that wonderful color right there? So I'm just adding like the spices. We've got the cilantro as part of it. A little bit of cumin. A little bit of salt. I want you to see this. See how creamy they are starting to look? It needs the chef's approval. Nailed it, nailed it. So this is boom, and this is also boom. When we combine these two, it's going to be amazing, really. There is a secret to the very old science of peeling green plantain, and I'm going to share that with you right now. Here's one thing, don't think this is a banana. It's nothing like a banana. I know it looks like one, but don't try to peel it as if it was a banana. You are going to get into a huge mess if you try to do that, so please don't do that. We cut one side and then the other. My friend Patty just showed me something that I did not usually do, which was like looking for the part that sobresale the most. I don't really do that. I usually just like peel it wherever, but you want to make this cut right here that I just did. What I'm doing here is I'm using my thumb and I'm just starting to open it on one of its sides. See? And it comes out really easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. For the patacones, cut the plantains into 1-inch slices. in the frying pan. I'm going to add some oil. 5 millimeters to 1 centimeter with our hot oil. I'm just going to start adding the plantain slices. There we go. We love playing Tetris here. And now we're gonna wait again 2 to 3 minutes. You want them to turn a little bit like yellowish. And now we're going to turn them to the other side. We're letting this rest in the oil 1 or 2 minutes. And then we're going to do the fun part, which is smashing them. We are getting these out of the oil and they are looking beautiful, yellow and beautiful. I have 2 techniques for you to smash patacones today. Plate. You could even use, if you have like a bowl or something, even this could work. Just something that has like a base that's wide enough for you to smash it. And then number 2, this is a pataconera. For the patacones, patacón, pataconera, right? Put one in there and there it is. While we are doing this, so I'm going to save some time and start putting them in the oil. Let's turn them. And now you have all the ingredients to assemble your frijolada. And this is how you make an authentic Colombian frijolada. For serving, you can add rice, top that with a bean stew, and then the patacones with some hogao on the side. And if you want some delicious arepas, which I will teach you how to make on the next time. See you then!
This is Kona Ice of Northeast Cincinnati. 5 Kona trucks, 2 kiosks, 2 minis, and 2 new coffee trucks. Every day, the commissary, the place where prep work, scheduling, and practice are all done, is bustling with people. Kona Ice is currently comprised of 12 employees, each working hard to further the business outreach. Of course, it wasn't always like this. At first, this all began as 1 truck, a mother and father, and touring neighborhoods.
My name is Sandra Andrews, and I'm the owner of Kona Ice of Northeast Cincinnati and Dayton, and Travelin' Toms of West Warren County. Kona Ice was started in 2007. The founder had taken his family to get ice cream from an ice cream truck, but the truck was really dirty and the driver was a little scary. And from that experience with his family, he decided to try to develop something better. We had seen an article in the Cincinnati Enquirer in the fall of 2009, and then another article in spring of 2010 about Kona Ice, and just started looking into it, and it looked like a great opportunity and a business we could do. I remember we brought the truck home and had a couple of really nice sunny pretty days in April of 2010, and then if I remember correctly, it rained every day for 3 weeks. We serve shaved ice. We deliver it in a very colorful tropical food truck. And a lot of what we do is refreshment and the rest is entertainment. We've got a great product. It's delicious, but we're also consistent in our delivery and we're reliable to be where we say we're going to be. And I think folks like that familiarity. But as well, we get new products from time to time and new flavors. And we've got a pretty strong fan base that wants to come and see what we have that's new. So we do a lot with our parks and sports fields. We work with our schools a lot. We did roughly 1,500 different visits last year. We were able to hire friends of our daughters, and so that was really helpful that we had basically a reference on everyone that we hired. And since then, we've gotten better and more proficient at hiring, so we do hire people now that we don't know and we don't have a reference on, a personal reference.
Hi, my name is Blaze. I started working at Kona Ice when my parents bought it. They had me working for them as much as they could. More officially, I became a driver at the point I was able to drive. When I was 17, I could drive a truck and I was able to go run events on my own, and I was officially on payroll then. Being 14, I had no experience with food trucks. My family did not have any experience with food trucks. So I really had no frame of reference of what a Kona Ice truck would be. And even now that I do, I still think it's a very cool truck and definitely very efficient and clean and easy to keep that way. And for my parents having no experience with food trucks and buying this business, I'm thankful every day that they did not get a truck with a grill or a fryer.
My name is Lewis Woodard. I've been with Kona Ice for 10 years, and we just started traveling Tom's Coffee last year. I do our social media, our marketing. I help with booking events, hiring, running events, pretty much some of everything. I started working at Kona Ice in 2014. I was dating Blaze, and her parents owned the business, and they offered me a job, and I took it and thought it'd be a lot more fun.
I had never been inside a food truck, and then Kona Ice trucks are manufactured custom for Kona Ice, and it was just, everything was new. So everything was new and foreign to us, and we're real comfortable with it now, but it was quite the experience.
In the very beginning, we were obviously still finding our footing. The brand awareness just wasn't out there, and it certainly wasn't what it is today. So it was definitely my parents out all the time, just doing neighborhoods, just being out wherever they could. They wanted to come to my friend's house. They wanted to drive me places in the Kona truck and drop me off, or do shopping in the Kona truck, so that a Kona truck was just sitting in a parking lot, just advertising. We just didn't have year-round capability, which we really wanted. My family, really wanted was used to full year-round income, and then we just did not have that anymore. So that was definitely something that they were hoping for by being able to get the Mini, but then we still had to pitch it to schools, pools, wherever we were trying to get inside, and a lot of places were wary, rightfully, of the mess that it would create. So we had to try our best to adapt to people being wary of mess. So we bring mats, we've got the mops, and then the tulip cups as well, so that we can easily say and defend that you wouldn't even know we were there.
They came out with ancillary vehicles that were add-ons. They came out with those in, I guess, 2012, 2013, and we saw it as an opportunity to grow our business, operate in more locations, but have a smaller investment than if we bought another truck.
As soon as they made a vehicle to be able to go inside a building, my parents got that to be able to try to be inside as much as they could, even though it wasn't a very convenient way to do it. And then Kona created the Mini, and as soon as they did, we got the Mini. And then we got a contract with the YMCA pool, the outdoor pool, and we got a second one. So, I mean, as soon as my parents could be building on auxiliary vehicles, they were. So that definitely helped with filling in a lot of events, and I think they knew how to pace themselves well, buying more vehicles and growing in that way. But I think my family is a very good example of how to develop a territory that you already have versus just buying new things to be able to just grow physically.
We're a lot busier. We've got 10 times the vehicles and a much bigger operation than we did have. But it still comes down to each and every event is something very special to the person who scheduled it. So that's the same, but we're just a lot bigger and we do a lot more. We're a lot more efficient.
The business has grown a lot. They had 3 trucks and 2 minis when I started. Since then, they've added 3 more trucks, 2 kiosks, and the 2 traveling Tom's Coffee trucks. It's named after Tom Lamb. Tony Lamb was the founder of Kona Ice, and he wanted to name something after his dad. But it's a traveling coffee truck, so we go all over just like we do with Kona Ice, serving some of the best tasting coffee around. We do have big plans for the future. We want to keep growing. My wife and I are buying out one of the existing owners, Ted. We plan on growing traveling Tom's Coffee a lot more over the next few years, and hopefully a little more growth with Kona as well.
We're going to continue to grow Kona and look for opportunities to both be profitable, but also to give back to our community. And as well, we're very young with the traveling Tom's Coffee trucks. So a lot of opportunity there. We're working on building a clientele for the Traveling Tom's trucks and scheduling those trucks efficiently. And it's harder. We only have 2 of those trucks, and we've already got dates that we've got more than we can do.
So we're kind of expanding that way, and we're hoping that with our database of Kona, we'll be able to really just be set up for success for Tom's. So, be able to use those contacts and be able to get those events. But we're also hoping it'll go the other way around. At some point, we can use Tom's to more do corporate events, and then hopefully get Kona in a little more with those corporate events, because corporate events aren't always super big into having Kona come out, even though it is a fun treat for adults. But they're gonna love Tom's.
With the brand new Traveling Tom's business and the expansion of the Kona Ice business from more trucks to more ancillary vehicles, the Kona Ice and Tom's Coffee franchise are looking brighter each year. It's been amazing watching the growth of this franchise from enjoying Kona at football games to now an employee, and to see how this franchise can expand next.